Hi everybody, this is Rajita Devi, Government Degree College of Hayatnagar, Department of Computer Science. Today I am going to discuss about on BSc 5th semester programming in language. Today's agenda is classes, objects and methods. And then in this I'm going to discuss about on these topics: classes, basis, classes, objects, constructors, method overloading, method overriding, static keyword, inheritance, type of inheritance, final keyword, and then abstraction. Firstly, I am going to discuss about on the things of classes basis. Classes. What is a class? Java is a true and object oriented language. We know these things, and before classes I told that about of oops like that, what is an object, what is an attribute, behavior, like that. Java is a true object oriented language, and therefore the underlying the structure of all Java program is classes, which is a Java program is a underlying structure which is having a structure of object oriented language. And then a class is nothing but a blueprint or a template which is having a template. A class is nothing but we are calling with a blueprint which is the same or template for creating different objects. If you want to create different objects, creating different objects which define its properties and behavior, which is in which you have to define many properties. Depends on object, you have to create many properties and behavior. And Java class objects exhibits the properties and behavior defined by its class. If a Java class objects exhibit, suppose properties and then behavior defined by its own class only. A class can contain fields and methods to describe the behavior of an object, which is an object, fields and methods. It describes of anything. You have to take an object that gives a behavior for that field. If define how to define a class. Once the class type has been defined, if we type any class, any class type of class, we can create variable. We have if we have to create a variable of the type using declaration that are similar to the basic type declaration, which is having to similar basic type declaration. In Java, these variables are termed, which is having a term as instance of classes, which is having the instance of classes, which are the actual object we are calling with the, that is only the actual object we are calling with the that is actual object. The basic form of class definition is, in this, a class having should name that is having a name, class name, and the extends the super name, which will extend the super name with that class name. And then begin brace, field declaration and method declaration, which having the field declaration having, and then also as well as method declaration. In field I discussed if a Java field is a variable. Already we know a variable, what is a variable, and then field inside a class, which is having inside a class Java field, and it is a variable. For instance, in a class representing an employee, for example I am taking an employee as an example. The employee class might contain the following fields: employee having some name, a position, a salary, hire date, which is having some fields. Employee having some fields, that is name, position, salary and hire date. And then field declaration syntax, which is having field declaration. How can we declare the field in Java? A Java field is declared using the following syntax: access modifier. You should use the access modifiers, and then stack, final, type name, initial value, which is having initial value. The square bracket, which is having a square bracket open and close. After that, around some of the keywords, means that this option is optional. This option is optional. You should do or may not do. Only type and name are required, which is having only type and name. This is the field declaration syntax. After that, classes objects. In this class objects, as pointed out earlier, this is about an object in Java is essentially a block of memory which is having an essential memory that contains a space to store all the instance of variables, which is having a space to store these type of variables fields like that, all the instance of variables. Whenever we are creating an object is also referred to as instantiate an object. In Java, the new keyword is used to create new object, which is having, whenever you want to new keyword used to create a new object, that is by using the new keyword. There are 3 steps when creating an object from a class. There are 3 steps will be there in this declaration. First one is declaration, a variable declaration with a variable name with an object type also, which is having variable name and as well as object type. And then instantiation, the new keyword is used to create the object. Whenever we are using new keyword which is create the object, which is used to create the object. And then instantiation, the new keyword is followed by a call to a constructor, which whenever you want to create new keyword, it is followed a call to a constructor. This call is initialize the new object, which is used to initialize new object. These 3 steps are declaration, instantiation, initialization are the creating an object from a class. And then example of creating an object is given below. Rectangle. Some example I am taking here, rectangle rec, and rectangle rec is equal to new rectangle. This is an instance of variable. In the first statement we declare the object rec. I am taking in this example object is a rectangle. It declares a variable to hold the object reference, which is having some reference variable, and in second we instantiate the object which actually assign the object reference to that variable. In this, variable rectangle is now an object of the rectangle class, which is variable is a rectangle is now an object of the rectangle class. Whenever the class is a name is rectangular. And then assigning class members. How to assigning a class members? Now that we have created object, whenever we are creating an object, each containing its own set of variables, which is having own set of variables, we should assign values to those variables in order to use them in our program. Whenever we are using in our program, which should assign a value to those variables whenever we are using the type of variables in order to use them. After that, remember all the variables must be assigned values, which is having, whenever we are using that variables, we are must assign in that program and values before they are used. Since we are outside the class, whenever we are in the outside the class, we cannot access the instance of that type of variable and the method directly. To do this, we must use the concern object. Whenever in that cases we are used concern objects and the dot operator as well as you can choose. And shown below as shown, object name dot variable name is equal to and value. You can take this sentence, and object name dot method name and parameter list you should write at the semicolon. This type of method you have to accessing the class members. Here object name is the name of the object, variable is the name of the instance of variable inside the object, that is wish to access if you want to wish to access them. With name is the method that wish to call, and parameter list is a common separate comma with the use of comma. List is a comma separated list of actual values, for instance, expressions you have to use that must match in the type and the number with the parameter list of the method name declared in the class. After that I am going to take one example for this rectangular class name, instance variable. How to the instance variables and methods of rectangular class. Whenever I am using a rectangular class may be accessed and assigned values as follows. Rect1 dot width is equal to some value I am taking here. Rect1 dot length is equal to 20 I am taking here, and rect2 width is equal to 24. Rect2 and length is equal to 34, and rect some area. You should find out this. Then I am going to discuss about on the topic of constructors. Constructors in Java is special type of method, which is a special type of method that is used to initialize the object. Java constructor is invoked when the time of object creation. When you create an object, whenever you create an object, it invoked to initialize the object. A special type of method. It contains it constructs the values, provides the data from the object. There it is known as constructor, which is known as constructor. Rules for creating Java constructor. How to create a Java constructor. Some rules will be there. There are basically two rules defined for the constructors. Constructor name must be same as its class name, which is having a same class name. Constructor must have no explicit return type, which is having no explicitly return type, and as same as its a class name, which is having a same name. These two rules to create the constructor in Java constructor. Some more constructors having there are types of Java constructors are there. There are two types of constructors. The default constructor, which is having no argument constructor, parameterized constructor, and then third one is Java default constructor. A constructor that have no parameter is known as default constructor. Which is having no constructor, which is having default constructor, then we are calling with a default constructor. Syntax is default constructor, class name, and then begin brace and end brace will be there. Example of, in this example we are creating the no argument constructor in the boy class. I am taking here one example for this class name, that is it will be invoked at the time of object creation, which is having invoking of the object creation, class, some name, and then system out dot println that object was created. In this public static void main string args one is equal to new instance of a class which we are created. In this example I am taking here only one. Whenever default, it will be defaultly created by the class constructor. And then Java parameterized constructor. In this, a constructor that have parameter is known as parameterized constructor, which is having a parameterized constructor. Why use parameterized constructor? Parameterized constructor is used to provide different values to the distinct objects, which provides a values to distinct objects. Example, in this example we have created the constructor of student class, which is having a student class that have two parentheses. We can have any number of parameters in that constructor. I am taking an example for this class student, that student number, and then student having some fields will be there, integer, id, string, name. Student that I am taking I am passing a parameters int I, int n will be there. In this, id is equal to initialization is I. id is equal to I am taking some I, which will have to change one by one. Name is equal to n. In this, after that the code is void display system.out.println id plus name will be there. That will be incremented by one by one, which is I am taking. Public static void main string args student for something s1 student 1 is equal to new student 1, that name was that id and name I am taking here, and student 2 I am creating new instance of student in that id was next id is I am taking here, and name will be there. Whenever I am calling with s1 object, which is an object created, s1 dot display, s2 dot display, it will be created by that names. The output will be the that created by the names that are id and names will be there. Whenever s1 and display, s2 is display, you write on the code, the output is will given the names. And this is about constructors. And then method overloading is there. If a class have multiple methods by same name, which is having a method overload, means which is having multiple methods, same name but different parameters. Say have multiple method, you should use multiple methods with the same name and different parameter you passing, and it is known as a method overloading. If we have to perform only one operation having same name of the method, increase the readability of the program which is having only one operation. Suppose you have to perform addition of given number, but there can be any number of arguments will be there. You have to addition so many numbers which having the addition of numbers, that is you have to passing a number of arguments. If you write the method such as int for two parameters, that is passing parameters. Whenever you want to use addition for two parameters, and b of int three parameters I am taking here for three parameters, then it may be difficult for you as well as others programmers to understand the behavior of the method because its name differ. So we perform method overloading to figure out the program quickly. Then argument list could differ in this. Number of parameters you should follow, and then data types are you should mention, and sequence of data types of parameters. Method overloading is also known as static polymorphism, which having some important will be there. Static polymorphism is also known as compile time binding. Whenever you have to compile, which is having known the static polymorphism having some compile time binding or easily binding. Static binding happens at compile time only. Method overloading is an example of static binding, where binding of method call to its definition happens at the compile time only. There are two ways to override the method in Java: by changing the number of arguments, by changing the data type. By changing the number of argument, I am taking here one example for this. Class display overloading, begin public void display, and then character I should taken in this character C and system.println of C. After that, public void display char C int number, system.println C plus and then num will be there. Example, and in this that is a class display overloading. After that I mentioned the class, that name is the same. Public static void means string args display in this display overloading object. Whenever I mentioned firstly class display overloading, that object is new instance of classes, new display object overloading. Whenever you write in that object dot disp of a, object dot disp of a comma 10, the output will be the a and a comma 10, which is having a and 10, 8 and 10 will be there. Whenever object dot display of a and object disp of a comma 10, this is by changing the number of arguments. And then next one is by changing the data type, class display overloading. And then public void disp char C, system.out.println C, public void disp int C, system.println that C having, and then class sample2 will be there. Public static void means string args. Whenever you write the display overloading object is equal to new display overloading, object dot disp of a, object dot disp dot 5, the output will be the a and 5. Whenever you are calling with a sample object dot display of a and then object of display of 5. But this is about on by changing the data type. And then next one is the method overriding. If subclass, if you have a subclass has the same name as declared in the parent class, it is known as method overriding in the Java. Whenever you are using a subclass, that is a child name, has the same method, which is having the same method as declared in the parent class. Whenever you declared in the parent class, that should have the subclass. It is known as a method overriding in the Java. In other words, if subclass provides a specific implementation of the method that being provided by one of its parent class. In other words, if a subclass provides specific implementation, which is having a specific implementation of the method that being provided by one of its parent, it is known as method overriding, which is having some rules here. The argument list should be exactly the same as that of the overridden method, and then the return type should be the same of a subtype of the return type declared in the original overridden method in the superclass. Whenever you are using the argument list, that should have same name and overridden. And then the return type, you should take you should same the subtype. Whenever you use the subtype, that subtype having return type of the return type declared in the original, that is having the original overridden method in the superclass. The access level cannot be more restricted than the overridden method access level. Then instance method can be overridden only if they are inherited by the subclass, that are inherited by the only subclass. A method declared final cannot be overridden. A method declared static cannot be overridden but can be redeclared only. If a method cannot be inherited, then it cannot be overridden. A subclass with the same package, if you use as instance of superclass, can overridden any superclass method that is not declared a private or final. Or subclass is in different package can only overridden the non-final method declared public or protected, which is having a public or protected. And then constructor cannot be overridden, which is having constructor that cannot be overridden. These rules you should follow the rules for you have to maintain the rules for method overriding. And then some advantages of this. The main advantages of method overriding is that the class can give its own specific implementation to a inherited method without even modifying the parent class, which is having base class. For example, I am taking here class is on base, class name is a base, public void display, and then system.println, this is a base class, which is having a base class. In this class child extends a base. A class child which is having the base is a parent class which is extended, which has an extension of the child. Public void display system.println, this is a child class that will be printed. And then public static void main string asks child object is equal to new child object dot display. Whenever the output it will gives this is a child class. Whenever you return on this system.println, this is a child class which has implemented by the extended by the child class. And then this is advantages. And then using the super keyword when the invoking a base class, when you are invoking some base class version of an overridden method, the super keyword is used. The super keyword is used, that is a class name is base, public void display, and then system.println, this is a base class. After that, class child extends a base which is should extended from the base class child, public void display, super dot display. Whenever it invokes a super class method, system.println, this is a child class. Whenever you type you take this super dot display, it should having this is base class. Public static void main string args child object is equal to new child, which is an instance of class. Whenever you take this sentence object dot display, the output will give this is a base class, and then this is a base class. which is having the output for this using the super keyword. After that, a static keyword. How to use a static keyword? The static keyword in Java is used for memory management only, which is used for memory management. We can apply Java static keyword with variables, methods, blocks and nested classes. We can apply Java whenever we are using a static keywords with the variables, methods, blocks and nested classes. The static keyword belongs to the class than instance of the class. The static can be variable, method, block, nested class, and variable and methods marks static belongs to the class rather than that to any particular instance of class. These can be used without having any instance of that class at all. Only the class is sufficient to invoke a static method or access a static variable. A static variable is shared by all the instances of class. That is, only one copy of the static variable is maintained, which is having only one static variable that is maintained by this. And this is as whenever we are using follow the these steps. Class, I am taking for an example for this. Class counter static int some count is there, that is a counter. Count plus plus is which is an increment variable. Public static void main string args new counter and then new counter and then new counter. I am taking 3 times. It will be system.println, the number of animals is count will be there. Whenever you take instead of 3 you take 10, 15, 20, it will be gives the output the number of that is sum. It will be given the output. I am taking here only 3 will be there. It should given the output 3. Instead of that you can take any more, that will be only printed. That will be give the output for this. This is a counter. And then next, a static method cannot access non-static instance variable because a static method is never associated with any instance. The same applies with the non-static method as well as a static method cannot directly invoke a non-static method. Whenever a static method cannot access non-static instance variables, only because a static method is never associated with any instances, which is never associated with the other instances. The same applies with the non-static methods as well as a static method cannot directly invoking a non-static method. But static method can access non-static methods by means of declaring instances and using them. After that, access static variables and methods. In case of instance methods and instance variables, instance of that classes are used to access them. That is object reference, instance variables, object reference, instance method, and class is a some class name will be, that is a counter, and begin brace static int count is equal to 0 and public counter. Counter will incremented variable and public static int get counter that return counter, and then class test that test name will be there, and after that public static void main string args will be there. The new counter and the new counter and the new counter, it will get the counter is equal to count dot that number. In this remember that the way in which the static method is called using the class name only, following by the static method, and that static method cannot be overridden. They can be redefined and subclasses, but redefining and overriding are not the same thing. Its class has hidden, that class has in hidden. And after that, the next topic is inheritance. Inheritance is one of the key feature, which is a key feature object oriented programming. Inheritance provides mechanism that allowed a class inherit properly of another class which is holding another class. When a class extends another class, it inherits all non-private members including field and methods, which is the extension of another class. Whenever you should mention a class that extends another class, it inherits and all private members including fields and methods, which is having a private members and fields and methods. The class which inherits the properties of the other is known as superclass, that is a derived class or child class. And the class whose properties and inheritance is known as a superclass, which is having a base class or parent class, you should call with that. And inheritance defines is a relationship between the superclass and its subclasses, which is having a superclass and subclasses, extends and implements the keywords are used to describe inheritance in Java. Why use inheritance in Java? For method overriding. Runtime polymorphism can be achieved in this, and then for code reusability we are using for this. And then syntax for Java inheritance: class, subclass, name, extend, superclass, which is having methods and fields will be there. That is, extended is a keyword used to inherit the properties of a class. That is a super keyword. In Java, super keyword is used to refer to immediate parent class of a class, which is used to immediate parent class, which is having a immediate parent class of a class. In other, super keyword is used by a subclass. Keyword is used by a subclass whenever it needed to refer to its immediate superclass, which is a immediate of superclass. And then this is the syntax of inheritance. And then types of inheritance are there. Syntax for Java inheritance: single inheritance, which is having a single inheritance is easy to understand. And when a class extends another one class only, then we call it a single inheritance. The below example shows that class B extends only one class, which is A. Here A is the parent class of B and B would be child class of A. For example, I am taking here for this class A, that is a class A, and which is next one is a class B extends from A. And then multiple inheritance, that is a single inheritance, and then next one multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance refers to the concept of only one class extending, which is having only one class extending, or more than one base class, which is having more than one base classes. The inheritance we learnt earlier had the concept of one base class or parent class. One base class or parent class. The problem with the multiple inheritance is that derived class will have to manage the dependence on two base classes, which is having. And then most of the new object oriented languages like Smart-Talk, Java, C# do not support multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance is supported in C++ only. And then class A and class B, which is having class C extends AB. Whenever another class I am taking here C, that will extends A and also B will be there. This is about multiple inheritance. And then multi-level inheritance. In this multi-level inheritance refers to a mechanism in object-oriented technology which is having where one can inherit from a derived class, thereby making this derived class the base class for the new class only. As you can see below the example, C is a superclass or child class or B, and B is the child class of A. For example, I am taking here class A, that will be class B extends to the A, and class C extends to the B. And hierarchical inheritance: in such kind of inheritance, one class is inherited whenever we are inheriting one class by many subclasses. In below example, class B, C and D inherits the same class A. A is a parent class or a base class of B, C and D. If I take an example for this, class A is there and class B extends A, class C extends A and class D also extends A. This is about multi-level hierarchical inheritance which is having. And then hybrid inheritance. In simple terms, you can say that hybrid inheritance is a combination of single or multi-inheritance, which is having a single or multiple inheritance. In hybrid inheritance, a hybrid inheritance can be achieved in the Java in same way as multiple inheritance can be can be using interfaces. Can be using interfaces only. Yes, you heard it right. By using the interfaces, you can have multiple as well as hybrid inheritance in Java. This is about a hybrid inheritance. And then final keyword will be there. The final keyword in Java is used to restrict the user, which is the restricted the user. The Java final keyword can be used in many contexts. Final can be which is having variable, methods and classes. The final keyword can be applied with the variable only. A final variable that have no value, which does not have no value, it is called blank final variables or uninitialized final version. It can be initialized in the constructors only, which can be initialized only in constructors. Final keyword. The blank final variable can be static also which will be instantiated in the static block only. After that, Java final variable. If you make any variable as final, you cannot change the variable of final variable. It will be the constant. And example for this final variable speed limit, we are going to change the value of this variable, but it cannot change because of final variable once assigned a value can never be changed. This is about a Java final variable. For this an example taken, class some class name is some game, final int some speed limit will be there, and void run will speed limit is something will be there, public static void main string args, and game that object is equal to new game instance of a class. Whenever object dot run that the compile time error will be came. For this, whenever you are using this type of code, the Java final variable will be there. And then Java final method. If you make any method as final, you cannot overridden it. For example of final method, some class name is there, final void that run system dot out println polling something you have to on that class some cricket extends a name void run system dot println bowling safely with that 100 kmph, like that you have to take public static void main string args will be there, cricket something cricket is equal to new cricket, which is having also a compile time run error will be there. And then Java final class, which is having, if you make any Java as final, you cannot extend it. Example of final class. Final class, that is a name is the game class, cricket extends the game. Avoid run system or dot println bowling safely without 100 kmph, like that you should public static void main string args cricket, that new instance of variable cricket that run. This is also having some compile time error, Java final class. And then after that, the topic is abstraction. Abstraction is the process of hiding the implementation details and showing only functionality to the user, which is having only functionality to the user. Another way, it shows only important things to user and the hidden the interface details. For example, sending SMS, you just type the text and send the message. You don't know the internal processing about the messaging delivery. You don't want to how to build that type of thing. You don't know without knowing the things of you send you send the SMS. You should type it. You did not type the text and send. Abstraction lets you focus on what the object does instead of how it does it. There are two ways to achieve abstraction in Java. Abstraction class is called 0 to 100% or interface is 100%, which is having, and abstract class having there a class that is declared as an abstract is known as abstract class, which is having an abstract class. It needs to extends and method implementation. It cannot be instantiation. Example, abstract class A, and then abstract method will be there. A method that is declared as abstract and does not have multiple implementation, that does not have implementation is known as abstract method. Example of an abstract method, abstract void print status will be there, no body and abstract
which is having. This is about an abstract classes, and today I covered the all the topics. Today's agenda. I this topic is over. I thank you. Thank you for watching this video, and for more videos you should uh, subscribe and like